welcome to the Movieception Show. My name is Fariba, and I can't believe it, but we're actually watching the last three episodes of not just Andor Season 2, but the last 3 episodes of Andor overall. This would technically, I guess, serve as a 3-part series finale in a way, although it's actually still just part of how they've been doing the whole schedule and the setup for Season 2. And of course, we've already been seeing how each set of episodes we got, or each year of the episodes that we got, are basically the beginning, middle, end of something. It's been revolving around the Gorman massacre now that we know a little bit more about that. And of course, because of that, that's going to spark a lot of the genesis of the Rebel Alliance. That's been very clear. And that's without a doubt, doing this story with Cassian Andor being the focus of the whole series, especially because we were initially introduced to him back in Rogue One, and what was that, 2016? And so, yeah, I mean, we're finally getting down to the end of this journey. Because after this year, we already know what happens in Rogue One. He eventually does die, but that's not without his efforts going to waste. His efforts actually do end up, sparking kind of the hope for the rebellion. That was the whole point of Rogue One, hope, right? That was like the big thing. We've been hearing it a lot throughout this whole series. And yeah, I think one of the coolest things I want to mention is the fact that, this was actually circulating all around social media, is the fact that this year actually marks the 10-year anniversary of when Diego Luna was officially announced to appear in Rogue One. And now it's like, just to have this full circle moment where now today marks the end of his journey. It's actually incredible just to read these kinds of stories, and just the timing of it. So, and I mean, there's no doubt, what Diego Luna has done to really create this character, one that also became quite a fan favorite back when the movie came out. What was it, 2016, right? I mean, it was very clear there was something special about him, and just to see his journey from beginning to hopefully the end has been quite a delight. And so, yeah, we only have 3 more episodes left. We have a little bit more time to really get a grasp of what happens right before the events of Rogue One. I believe this and Rogue One are lined up in the same year, so this is like right before it. We'll talk a little bit more about that hopefully at the end of this episode. But yeah, but here's it. We're in the series finale. So without further ado, let's get right down into the last 3 episodes of Andor Season 2. Last one, guys. Last one. Is that Bix? Oh man, tensions look to be very high.
You will. Going like this is risky enough. Just promise me if it doesn't look perfect, you won't engage.
I think we used up all the perfect.
Is he implying he could die? That's something I know a lot of us are theorizing.
Move.
Wow, it's so quiet.
Your files?
I had a 2-hour window.
And you still don't know if she's coming after me or not.
I didn't have time. Because I found something more critical.
The Death Star?
Something huge.
The Death Star?
Now we're bargaining.
Public order, the labor camps, Scarif.
Fronting for what?
A weapon. Orson Krennic's been building a secret weapon for over a decade. Colonel
It's the Death Star that could destruct planets, and we've seen it happen to Alderaan. It's a Lotcat! Lotcat! That, oh my god.
Scarif, Kyber, Krennic.
Yep. That's in the road, huh?
Please join us. Hardly seems fair.
You disgust me.
Do you want to know why?
Everything you stand for.
Freedom scares you.
Freedom.
Freedom
You don't want
scares
freedom.
you.
You want chaos. Chaos for everyone but you. Finished.
And you're too late. The rebellion isn't here anymore. It's flown away.
I love that. I love these words.
There's a whole galaxy out there waiting to disgust you.
Turn around. Turn around.
Don't tell me.
Or be stunned.
Oh.
No. All units engage. I need a med team.
Any burners you got? He wants that whole street out there on fire. Your radio's off, by the way.
South of the canal. Wants to sweep the whole ridge. I count 3 more settlements to go. Sergeant Lear, come in. Sergeant Lear, where are you?
There's Sergeant Lear. Anyone?
She looks like Cassian's sister, but I can't tell because of all the dirt. He's still alive. Holy shit. Priorities, right?
What does that mean?
You're under arrest, Dedra.
That's ridiculous. I have access. I found him.
I came with an ISB marshal.
I have to talk to part of me. But no smile.
He's like, this is my proud daughter. They were made for each other.
Well done.
Am I your daughter now?
What it's useful.
I have to think about that.
Whoever we have to. It won't always be up to us. I'm Luther now, you're Clea.
That's effed up. To kill a kid.
Look at me. Hunter.
Huh. Just give me back the gun. Now that makes sense. She, what you needed to do to spare him.
Who's that?
He runs the hospital.
The attackers. I was told there was a team of 3.
That's the current thinking.
Based on what?
Team of 3. It's only one.
This is all on Mira. That's all hers. SB crime scene. If you're slowing me down, you're a suspect. Suspects need to be questioned. That means transport and custody.
Now you're just being an ass. Oh, Krennic! He's back! I was wondering if Krennic's team again.
That Supervisor Young is dead.
Is that why I'm here? For the murder of an ISB clerk? Has my reputation slid so precipitously?
Oh, okay. That's quite a word.
What single thing? Say the word.
That's a little creepy.
Death Star.
Ah, there you go.
Else knows.
Partagas.
No, I want the names. I don't.
Clearances. Never. Why would I do
I
that?
don't have time for why. Your motivations are far less pressing than the extent of your betrayal.
If Young had my cert, then he stole it.
Who told you about Galen Urso?
Galen Urso! Hey! You know that name.
Several intel bundles were forwarded.
3 hours last night logged into your account.
3 hours?
Guess at what he might have told.
Oh my god, what is he doing? Oh my god, that must be some pressure point right there. Oh!
Such passionate competency with the mindless decision to confront Lutheran Rail on your own!
Yeah, not a great plan.
Spy, you missed your calling. We'll do our best to carry on without you.
See, that's how they find you guys. That's what they think of you. Oh, they're just probably been informed that Luthen's dead, right? I'm assuming that's the case. Wow, they've hidden a lot of stuff. Please tell me they can save her. Look at all that progress. K2SO, oh my god!
3. In.
And it's that guy from the prison.
Plus 10.
Plus 863 games. That's a solid predictive sample.
You're nervous?
He's nervous.
He is, right?
That's another
Oh
impossibility.
my god, I've never seen him this
You
happy.
don't have any tens left.
Effort. Failure will earn you a place in the ever-lengthening ISB death march. Are we clear?
Oh. Oh, Death March.
Warrant.
Oh my.
To be clear, what's the charge?
Death Star. What a prescient turn of phrase.
I can't
Death
take
Star.
you, Leo.
You were supposed to be ready by now.
You sound like Tarkin.
It's a miracle we've kept it quiet this long.
We're moments away.
To know how many?
No.
7.
A lot. 17.
80.
18. I love them.
Anto Krieger had one. We found several of them. Old frequencies. Pulse codes. My best guess.
Thank you.
It's probably too late.
And she's still helping them.
Where?
Coruscant.
Lutheran.
The Imperial broadcast player for who knows how long.
I've been to Coruscant. I was in a parade there once. 200 KX units.
Oh my god.
The Emperor
Such a
was
random thing to say.
Sorry, I missed that.
Oh no. Oh no. That's not good.
I don't like it here.
Me neither. Maybe walking faster would be great right now.
Cass, is this it?
Yeah. It's been a while.
Luther, it's me, Cassian.
He's about to find out.
It would be you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Where's Luther?
Dead.
The energy project. Palpatine's energy push. It's a lie.
Can we do this?
It's a weapon.
In the ship.
They're building a weapon, a super weapon. Everything we've been chasing.
And you're sure Luthen's dead?
Absolutely.
Floors 26, 27, and 28.
Galen
Galen
Erso.
Erso.
This is really getting back to Rogue One.
Gorman, this is direct from ISB as of yesterday morning.
Stay here, Clea.
And go where?
Yavin! Just leave!
Nothing to see, keep moving.
I just told you.
I'm not leaving you here.
Which is a bright idea right now, so please leave.
Routine inspection. You'll be safe inside.
No.
Love you, K2.
Back up.
Nah, must be a local patrol. Send him back.
What a bitter ending.
Nothing's ending.
That's quite meta.
Anyone else with a tactical line failure?
Oh my god. God dang, K2. Oh my god. You're taking too long. You're taking way too long. Let's get out of here.
Is that it?
You can stop right there! Go, go, go!
Oh no.
Slowly raise your hands above your head! No!
Stop right there! Sergeant!
Stop there!
Oh my.
Stunner.
Oh man, K2.
Apparently everyone's out running down the emergency disease warrant.
Stop right there!
Oh my god.
Cass! Get out of here!
It's just K2, guys.
I've cleared a path.
So casual.
TAC 5.
Thank you. Make sure she stays awake.
That vest! Oh my god!
My value of having been erased. You can.
Tell me why, whenever I'm being scolded for
Ah!
I'm reminded the rebellion is bigger than all of us. And yet, when you feel inconvenienced,
Wow.
Oh,
That went well.
You're sure he's in Jeddah? Is this Andor?
I believe so.
With a stolen ship. On an unsupervised mission. You can make that case. Incredible.
If it
You might need that detail, just so you know, because that plays around the rest of the Star Wars storyline.
Makes the Senate look easy, doesn't it?
We could be anybody.
They'll figure it out. We're getting close, aren't we?
I suspect we'll be shot down as an enemy probe.
Shut up, Kate.
But disobeying orders is so refreshing. I planned to tell them I was kidnapped.
K2 and your humor.
For the manufacture of a weapon. The energy project.
That's hardly a secret. We've been funding it for years.
without details or inspections.
What kind of a weapon are we talking about?
Death
I
Star.
know about the weapon.
Then what's the point?
Let him finish.
And an Imperial engineer named Galen Erso.
Ah, there you
All of
go.
this conveniently wrapped in a big energy program basket.
I'm just reporting.
Both of you. It's hard not to wonder if your judgment here might be less than objective.
I'll have to disagree. It's everything I know
This
about
is ironic
Luther
coming from
that
him.
makes me believe this is real.
We're talking about someone who's been a
Anyone in this room, besides Senator Mothma, have any
Thank you.
idea how much you know him?
Oh, please.
When I say I know,
Easy to believe that Luthen was the one being played.
Or worse.
His paranoia, his secrecy.
This is the most ironic
his
thing, considering that this
inability
is
to collaborate,
Alderaan that got
the
destroyed.
web of doubts that he created. It makes
Yeah,
everything
irony.
unbelievable.
So we do nothing?
Dodonna and Merrick.
And confined to quarters.
This is so ironic, considering that the Death Star was used on Alderaan, his home planet. Oh,
requesting.
thank you. Somebody with some mind. Oh, we haven't seen her in a while.
Gorn, Nemik, Taramin,
Cinta.
the Gormans, Ferrix, your mother,
Mm.
the Danis.
Aldani. Along the way. Does it matter how we twisted in? None of this exists without him. None of us are here.
That's true.
Sir. I told them I'd bring you down.
Oh, he's screwed.
May I have a moment to collect myself?
Oh my god. I figured that was gonna be the case.
X.
She's still alive.
She's safe, isn't she?
For that.
She might disagree.
This sucks.
Once this settles down. Maybe. I'll think about it.
I already know what's gonna happen.
You're here with friends.
Full circle. I love that.
None of that is true. General Draven brought us home.
Is outside.
It's a brilliant way to spring it.
How do I get to Kafri?
Man, this is directly into Rogue One.
You
Isn't that Cassian's sister?
Waking up humans is always confusing.
He's still thinking about his sister. The man you do not like is here. I love that.
Ask what changed. If I die fighting the Empire, I want to go down swinging.
Oh boy, foreshadow. This is, oh my god. This is right into Rogue One. That means this is days before. Oh. Really? With her? No wonder he's such a loser. No way, she's just a prisoner? Oh. Oh. Oh, yeah. That star. Yes.
Get us out of here.
We get some clues about Bix. Finally.
Go again.
Does she have a child? Does she have a child? I think she has a child. Ah, she has a child. Oh my god. That's Cassian's kid. Oh my god. Yeah! Oh my god! I love it! That was it. That was the last 3 episodes of Andor season 2. I can't believe we've actually reached this point. And of course, we know that there's not going to be any more Andor season 3. We're not going to get another episode of Andor because they made it very clear that this is about a couple days before Rogue One. So we already know what happens in Rogue One, and unfortunately, yeah. But let me just say, wow, what an incredible journey. I was honestly very glued to the finale, the last 3 sets of episodes. I mean, just what a spectacular journey that we've had just with Andor. Like, I mean, I still remember just when I was watching Rogue One back in 2016 and just seeing it in theaters and just how incredible that film is. And then since then, just to see how much that journey has transpired. And then, as I said, I mean, earlier today, there was a whole fun fact that 10 years ago, Diego Luna had been just cast as Cassian Andor, and now we've reached the full circle, and his journey has now ended. Because we already know what's going to happen in Rogue One, because this is, yeah. So, but having said that, right? I mean, let's just kind of rewind back to just talk about this episode in general. I mean, what another great episode. I mean, in comparison to last week's, it's not the greatest, but I think just watching the events of what's taking place here, and how Luthen is a very key player. Now, of course, a lot of us knew that at some point Luthen's going to die. I think we all had speculated that's going to be the case, but it made sense. Just because in the last few episodes, like, you can tell just how much effort he's putting into, but also how much of his power that he's losing. And I mean, just for him to sacrifice himself, like, I mean, it makes sense. A lot of decisions that end up coming to the case at this point makes a lot of sense. I think what's something that I didn't really realize was going to end up happening is just how much people some of the characters were giving credit to Luthen despite the mishaps that they had with him. I mean, the good and the bad, which is like the most ironic thing, because it's just like, I mean, ever since, the show has started, we've seen how Luthen can be a very sketchy person. He's made some very shady decisions. And I mean, we're talking about like decisions that he made, including like killing Mothma's childhood friend, almost nearly killing Cassian. We're talking about these kinds of decisions, but yet in this set of episodes, we can see why he is the way he is. We got a little bit of backstory with him and Clea, and understanding that, yes, he was not the most perfect person, but he's someone who understood what needed to be done, and he knew that there had to be time for things to be set in place, so that way they can actually have the power then to fight off the Empire. And I think if there's anybody who knew this better, it would have been him. And I have to say, I think the first episode that we get with him and Clea, and how it's really focused on them, just to understand the dynamic and why, yes, like it makes us actually, because I mean, for us as audiences, we know how much we, are very skeptical about him. But I mean, I think the first episode really gives a very clear message that he is someone who has been very important, and how he's very meaningful for someone like Clea, and understand like what he's done. I mean, in a way, he has kind of, adopted her as like his daughter, even though he may not really say it. I think he probably acknowledges that, and it's just like, yeah, I mean, I get why. And you can see just the emotions running down, for her, knowing the fact that she's going to have to basically kill her father figure. And she knows that this is the only way, right? She's doing what needs to be done. So I have to say, some really incredible storytelling right there. Way to kind of really end, Luthen's story, and also making so that there is a purpose to it. I mean, he's the one who's able to get the information about the Death Star, which again would lead up into Rogue One. So, but I mean, again, spectacular writing right there. I mean, just looking at this whole series in general, I mean, I never would have thought that, this whole approach, this whole design, where they would have 3 episodes per week, and each week would be focused on a specific year. I never imagined that was going to be, that would work. I was kind of pretty skeptical about it, because I'm like, can this really, really work out? Like, why can't we just do the 5-year plan? But I think now, just watching just the entirety of the series now, it makes a lot more sense. And honestly, you can see how each, like, even though it's covering like every year after 3 episodes, sorry, every 3 years, every 3 episodes covers a year. You can see how they're all very linear. They're all are, a key part of setting up each other episodes, if that makes sense. I think the key thing, of course, is really just how much this is fueling it. I mean, the main key storyline, of course, is the events in Gorman. We got the details of the fact that, Gorman has the calcite that's going to be key to creating the Death Star, but the only way to really mine it and like try to not raise suspicion is to kind of use the people as like, as like a guard of their plan. I mean, just the way that they had to really kind of be very secretive about it. And then of course leading that up into like each and every moment. And then, but as we all know, right? I mean, when it came to the Gorman massacre, there's going to be a lot of consequences by it, right? That was something that was always going to be planned by the Empire. We saw that very clearly. I mean, this was a really dangerous plan right there. But at the same time, we can also see how the Gorman situation also fueled the Rebel Alliance. I think what's really amazing just watching these sets of episodes, that like, each and every moment that we're seeing is basically fueling the Rebel Alliance. I mean, there's so many factors that's coming into it. Of course, it's not just Gorman. I mean, that's just a key part of it. But we can see how there's so many different factors that's helped create the Rebel Alliance, whether it be Mon Mothma, whether it be Luthen, whether it be the Gorman Massacre, whether it be Cassian, right? We've seen each and every moment let's just lead up into the inception of the Rebel Alliance, which has been very, very key. And then, of course, what we saw here is also going to, lead up to other events in the Star Wars lore, right? I mean, you have with, A New Hope, and then Empire Strikes Back. I mean, this is everything that we've seen so far is just basically filling the gaps of the details. And while we have seen, what life is like as a Sith and a Jedi, we haven't really seen what's like impacting just regular people, right? People who are just trying to make a living and now are impacted by fascism, basically. And we're seeing how they respond. And I have to really give a lot of credit for Tony Gilroy. I know a lot of people have been talking about this. I mean, Tony Gilroy, the things that he's done to really create this show, and the writing and the direction and just the approach to it has been absolutely incredible. I mean, I'm literally just listening to the last three episodes very closely just to hear the dialogue and just how absolutely spectacular it is. I mean, we're talking like prestige TV. I mean, this is not even something that even the original or the prequel trilogies were able to even, I mean, I don't even know why I'm even mentioning prequels, but even the original trilogies were not able to really reach the level of. And I have to say, like, the writing from Tony Gilroy is absolutely incredible. Just to see how meticulous the dialogue is. I mean, still to this day, right? To this day, last week's episode with Mon Mothma's speech, it's still running in my head to this day. Just the words, just specific words that are used, and the structure and the setup for it. It still runs in my head. Just to hear her speech still running in my head, and I mean, the one part that really hits me all the time is the death of truth is the ultimate victory of evil. I mean, that is just world-class writing. I mean, there's a reason why this show has already been nominated for season 1. I mean, season 2, I mean, honestly, it's gonna get a lot of nominations. Let's be honest, it's gonna get lots of nominations, especially when it comes to the writing department. I mean, just the Mon Mothma speech alone. I mean, incredible writing. But even in this episode, we see some really spectacular dialogue. I mean, there's like words that I'm hearing, I'm like, whoa, I don't even think George Lucas has ever used those words before. But honest to God, like, I mean, the writing has been the key part of why this show has been so spectacular. I think really putting Star Wars into a whole new level. I don't think any of us would have imagined, let alone the fact that, you know, Rogue One was already such a really great kind of Star Wars story. And just to see this be an expansion of that, I mean, and coming from Cassian's story. Now, I personally loved Cassian as a character back in Rogue One, so I never would have imagined that they would do like expansion of his story and giving us a little bit more of his backstory. But I mean, just to see his journey, right? I mean, I do hope to actually do a whole rewatch, not just watching it, because now just like, I'm so pumped. Like, I've never felt this excited for Star Wars in like a long time. But which sucks because I mean we just ended off Andor. Like, this is not to say that this Andor is going to continue. This is the end of Andor. Like, we're not going to get any more Andor beyond this, and it's just like that sucks because I'm like, I love what they've done, and it's like I'm finally feeling like I'm once again excited about Star Wars, only to see that we've just ended like one of the best shows probably ever in Star Wars. I mean, one of the best projects in Star Wars history. And let me just say, just those last 15 minutes, I mean, I was honestly feeling the goosebumps, just knowing, because I mean, one thing, you're just like, wow, like, he's finally becoming this leader, and who becomes very key, but then you're just like, you already know what's going to happen to him, and then it's just like, I mean, we do get some answers, thankfully, which we'll talk about in a second, but yeah, I mean, those last 15 minutes, just to see what ends up happening to everyone, which, wow. But I mean, but just to kind of just end things off with Tony Gilroy. I mean, it sucks that he's not going to do any more Star Wars. I think I've read somewhere that this is kind of it for him, which I get, but oh my God, I wish we could get more material like this, because this is world class. This is like world class storytelling, and we don't really get that often, let alone in Star Wars. And so I don't even think I think the next Star Wars we're probably going to get won't be really until next year with Mando and Grogu. And I wasn't a big fan of season 3. So I'm hoping that maybe that would have some redemption, but we'll see about that. I mean, that's just me going a little bit too far into the future. But honest to God, I mean, this is such an incredible writing from Tony Gilroy. Just what he's able to really achieve with Cassian as a character, the storytelling, the characters, the setting. I think one of the things that I didn't even expect from this season is the fact that there was going to be some very key locations. Because I know with last season, like, they were going through a lot of different locations, but this one, they were really tight on areas that they wanted to be, whether it be Gormon, whether it be Yavin, whether it be Coruscant, right? There's so many locations that they really were focused on. That's just like, wow, I really love how it's very tight and cohesive and knit for those reasons. So again, really well thought out. You can tell they really put so much thought into this. Incredible. Now let's talk about like what happens, right, with everybody. I mean, just the irony. Dedra, I mean, Dedra just becomes a prisoner. Like, who would have thought that was going to be the case? Like, for her to become a really key ISP officer, someone who is being trusted by so many people, to being trusted with so many different plans, to being trusted with the Death Star plans, and then for it to end up there. Like, the irony. And not just that, but she basically loses everything. She loses Cyril. She loses her position, her power, her everything. I mean, what a downfall for someone. And then just to become, I guess, like, I don't know, who knows what's going to happen with that joke, because I guess she's just remains in prison for the rest of her life, I guess. Because we already know what happens with Cassie, but we don't know about everyone else. But I guess that's that's gonna be her life for the rest of it. I mean, that's just irony right there. Just wow, what a way. It does make me a little sad that we don't get to know a little bit too much about Cassian's story, but. Sorry, Cassian's sister. But oh my god, just that one bit right there where he's dreaming about his sister. Because I mean, that was kind of like the key thing, right? Like, we kept getting references of his sister last season, but we never really got any answers to that. And I guess that will remain the mystery, which is unfortunate, but I guess that it is the way it is. I know a lot of people were thinking that Clea would probably have been a Cassian's sister. I think that was like one of the leading theories. I guess that's not going to happen. So that's unfortunate. We don't get an answer to the sister situation, but I guess that's meant to be, right? I think the way that they ended off here is that, you know, in his last moments, one of the people that he was thinking about his sister, right? Which is very, you know, bittersweet, very, very bittersweet. Because I mean, as I said, I know a lot of people keep saying, like, once you finish watching Andor season 2, go right into Rogue One. I'm gonna plan on doing that. I'm gonna watch Rogue One right after I finish this and edit this and upload it. But yeah, oh, Bix. I can't believe I almost forgot about Bix. So Bix. I'm glad that we got an update with her, because I was really curious, like, whether or not she would at least be alive or not. I know they were kind of diving a little deep into her, you know, her depression and trauma, and it's just like I wonder where. And then of course she left last year, the last episodes of the year before in the timeline, and just to see her actually back in Mineral, I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, that means she probably has a kid, and it's like Cassie has a kid. And I think just having that, at least having that thought, it makes me feel a little bit more reassuring, just because, again, what happens with Cassian in Rogue One, because they're just like, man, like, I mean, Cassian just, you know, has gone through all this. We've just now been through a whole journey with him now that, you know, post Rogue One, and it's like, man, like, he never really got to be with Bix, but at least there is one, you know, silver lining, is that they actually had a kid. And so that's at least one thing. I wonder if he knows. I'm going to assume that he knows, hopefully, which is unfortunate because, again, you already know what's going to happen. You're just like, man, that kid's never going to know his father. And it's just like, man, I hate when you have to kind of think like that. You're just like, man, it's like you don't want it to be the case, but you already know that's going to be the case. I mean, everyone's lives and fates are set in Star Wars. And now it's just a matter of really reflecting on it. But, yeah, I will say though, just a visual at the end of that, like it honestly, it felt like a parallel to the ending of Rogue One. It's just like you can see how bright it is, and you're just like, I don't know, it kind of exudes kind of this message of hope in a way as well, just to see how bright the setting is, her to have a child, and then I guess that's kind of like a symbolism of like hope, I guess, and you know, the hope for the future. So yeah, I have to say, what a beautiful way to really end things off. I mean, it's one thing, of course, we got to see K2 SO come back as well, so it's like, yay, we got to see him, and he hasn't changed one bit. And then of course seeing Mon Mothma and Val being together again, just seeing all these characters come together and finally at least having some kind of conclusion. Even for Clea, right? I mean, Clea was just like, you know, she didn't even know whether or not, you know, her efforts were worth it or not. And just for her to see just the, you know, the energy that went into just creating Yavin Base, it's just, wow, like, it's just incredible. One thing I will also mention, just the irony with Bail talking about, you know, about the message that Cassian was saying. I mean, just the irony of that. I mean, let's be honest, the irony. Again, and even that's like taking place within the same time. Like these are happening in days. I mean, that's the craziest thing when you look at this, is that this episode happens within days before Rogue One, within days before A New Hope. And it's just like, wow, this is incredible that we're finally kind of seeing things really lining up. But of course, I think what makes this so special is just how it's so well thought out, the storytelling, just really setting up Cassian's story and making us realize how much of a key character that he has been, a key player that he has been throughout this whole Star Wars storyline, and specifically in this timeline in particular. I mean, wow. It makes me really sad that we've now reached the end of this journey, because it's just like the last thing I ever want to feel is to reach an end of the journey. And I know there's going to be a couple of those coming up later this year with other shows, whether it be Squid Game or Stranger Things. I know those are the ones I'm like preparing myself for. But this is the first one of this year that I'm just like, wow, I'm like closing off a whole chapter, because I mean we're reaching a time in television where television is just becoming gold. Like, you're having some really incredible storytelling, some writing, direction, acting. I mean, it's a time to be around. It's time to be alive, to be watching this kind of content. Of course, with a show like Andor, like, it couldn't come at a very specific time. Like, I couldn't come at a perfect timing in regards to, of course, the real world and everything that's happening. I mean, you can see the details of it. It's just like, I think the craziest thing is that the show itself was shot like 2 years ago. And yet this is like, we're kind of seeing the parallelism between the show and what's happening in real life. And it's just like, it's absolutely insane just to have that thought. But even then, I think that we have these stories for a reason. Not it's precisely for escapism, but just to kind of see how things resonate, how we feel as audiences, and just seeing how these characters are. I mean, in some ways, they can be very inspirational. And I have to say, I think what we got with Andor has been very, very special. I mean, I don't know if we're ever going to get anything like this again in Star Wars in a long while. Although I know there's a lot of movie projects that we're going to actually get, so we'll see how those turns out. But honestly, what an incredible journey. I feel like I'm going to have to put this back in my list of like rewatches, just because I feel like I have to put a lot of time in just to kind of rewatch a lot of things and see it all in order. Especially now that we have a little bit more of this leading up to Rogue One, and then of course leading up to A New Hope. But yeah, I mean, honestly, what an incredible journey. I hate that we have now ended this, but I'm glad that it did it so in a way that's very, in a way, bittersweet. Because again, we already know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna go see Rogue One right after and see how much that really changes my perspective. But I think that really concludes everything that I have to say about Andor Season 2. I think I've gone through just a general aspect of it, just the writing, Tony Gilroy, performances. I love Diego Luna as Cassian Andor, and it really sucks. I mean, I love the fact that we've kind of had a whole full circle of this. That's been 10 years since he's been embodying this role. He's been embodying this role. Andor Season 2 right there. I've given my thoughts about it, but what about you? We've now reached the end of Cassian Andor's story. I mean, we already know what happens right after it. This leads up to Rogue One. Are you gonna go watch Rogue One? If so, what's the feeling like? Like, has that changed your perspective about anything? What do you think about just the overall structure of this season in general? I know it's very unique and different. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Is this something that you really applaud has been very unique, whether it be just with Star Wars or just in television in general? What do you think about just how they wrap up the story right here? Like, literally leading up to the events of Rogue One. Do you think that was the right way to do it? What do you think about some of the reveals that we got and some of the answers that we did get, but some of the questions that we didn't get, right? We saw Dedra, right? I mean, are we going to see Dedra ever again? I mean, this seems to kind of imply that this is where her life has led. Is that something that maybe you thought would have happened? What do you think about the fact that we never really got an answer about Cassian's sister? I mean, we never really got that. Is that implying something? Or maybe it's just meant to be, left as a mystery. Then we have the big reveal about Bix. She has a child. Big news right there, right? I think that's a little bit more of a bittersweet thing right there. It's a silver lining in a way. But it's unfortunate because we already know what this means. I mean, they keep saying that Bix will attempt, or that Cassian will attempt to contact her, and it's just like it's like, oh, well, I don't know about that, so we'll see. But knowing that reflection, what do you think? And yeah, just let me know any other thoughts, concerns you have now having seen Andor season 2. What do you think you would rank this series in terms of just Star Wars in general, whether it be the shows or the movies? Are excited now that we've got something like Star Wars? Do you think that we can actually see more material of Star Wars like this ever in the future? I mean, we do have Mando Grogu coming out next year, but can it be anywhere near this level? And what are just your feelings right now about Star Wars in general, whether it be Andor, anything of that sort? Let me know your thoughts below. Make sure to like and subscribe.